My 1B is Matthew Golden. I don't know how high you are on him, but I love him. And I think that the NFL is going to be, and fans are going to be even more onto this guy after his performance at the combine. You have his running mate, Isaiah Bond, who's talking about, how fast he's going to run. And Matthew Golden looked just as faster than him. Like, which was pretty crazy. Now you're looking at his stats here, nothing insane, nothing crazy jumping off of the tape, as at least for 2024, which was his best year. But what I love about Matthew Golden, he has great speed, which was proven at the combine, obviously, but he's an extremely sharp route runner. Like his ability to cut corners, sink those hips, but it's a speed modulation thing where he's able to throw the cornerbacks off. He's able to stop, start so damn well that he's going to create separation because of that. And in addition to those cuts, you see the guys who make the quickest jump from college to the NFL and become impact players right away are guys who have insane route running. And Matthew Golden is one of those types of guys who has that. He's got the requisite size that you're looking for. That 6 foot mark is kind of the delineating factor for me for a guy to be able to play on the outside consistently. Obviously, there's outliers, but being able to be there at that 6 foot mark is really good for him. But other things here, he's got really good hands, really good body control at the catch point. He's not like your contested catch guy, but he is able to block out defensive backs to get that ball. The biggest weakness with him in my mind is his overall play strength. He's just, despite being 6 foot and a good weight for it, he's not going to completely just bust through press coverage all the time. To me, like he reminds me of what you would kind of expect to see from a Stefon Diggs. Like that's been a comp for me with this guy for a while, is Stefon Diggs. Hopefully less of a diva, but like I really like what Matthew Golden brings. I think he can be a true number 1 receiver in this league for a lot of teams. And while he doesn't have the size, the next guy, and it goes to the same team, like I kind of liken him to a smaller Nico Collins as well. Like it's somewhere in between. And it's really tough. Look, I just want to say this about pro comps. We throw around big names so that way it's easier for you to recognize. And these are obviously going to be like the peak, excelling at everything. I don't expect this guy, if he becomes the best that he is, to become Nico Collins or Stefon Diggs. I expect that if he reaches his peak, then in a year or two from now, we're going to be like, oh, player X is going to be like a Matthew Golden.
Okay. All right. So I also had some very nice things to say about Matthew Golden. Elite concentration when he's going for the ball, tracks the ball incredibly well down the field, doesn't worry about contact, put up the fastest 40 time, and that was not expected. I don't think anybody expected that. Good production at Texas and was a major weapon downfield, even as a little bit of a smaller wide receiver. You keep saying he hit 6 foot. Is there, because what I'm seeing here on NFL.com, they had him measured at 5'11".
So that was on the PFF board. He's at 6 foot. I think he was like 5'11 3/4, something like that.
Okay. All right. So listen, he's a little bit on the size, but it's not bad by any means.
Who knows what sizing metrics we can trust now, though, because, look, we're not going to talk about quarterbacks today, but Jalen Milroe in his hands, did you see the whole thing with that?
Yeah, we went from less than 9 to almost 9.5 or 9 3/8. What the was it?
Yeah, something crazy, which the thing is that he has been known for having small hands, and somehow the small hands that he was expected to have and had measured at the Senior Bowl now became close to 10-inch hands. I want to know who his hand guy is or who the person doing the measurements is, because that's an insane come up for him. Like quarterback with small hands is scary.
Your hand enough that you can get to a 10-inch hand.
That's like lots of hand yoga, hand massage therapists just stretching out. I don't know how that works, but
I don't understand it either, man. But let me finish here. So he is a little bit of a smaller wide receiver, just a little bit, but he's a really good route runner, and he's exceptional in and out of his breaks. If he doesn't get separation, it doesn't always bother him, though, because his concentration is elite. He is always making contested catches. I think Matthew Golden is probably wide receiver 2 on my board. I didn't know a ton about Matthew Golden. I went back and watched a shitload of wide receivers. Dude, this kid's really good. He is crisp on every single break. I didn't see anything where it's like, oh yeah, he's solid. I like this kid a lot.
Yeah. Like I said, he's my 1B because he's a different style receiver than a Ted McMillan. And I don't expect him to go as high as my 1B would, which realistically puts him in as the number 2 guy in this class. But I feel like depending on what you need, Matthew Golden could be better for you in some situations than a Ted McMillan. But either way, like I like both of them. I'm in my gut a little bit higher on Matthew Golden. I think Ted McMillan, you're going to be able to set him in, forget it, and you're going to be a little more surprised. I think people will be a little bit more surprised when Matthew Golden becomes more of a household name and does a really good job, and they're going to feel like he was a steal in this class because he's going to go later.
Well, we'll see what he does at his pro day. We will see what he does at his pro day. I would assume he's going to go out there, run routes, and be out there with Quinn. So we're going to see him a little bit more as the process continues on. So,
yeah.